It was fun. He was up for just about anything.
Married almost 26 years, but after a fall, he needed a nursing home. You know, we rely on nursing homes to take care of loved ones who just can't, get the same kind of care at home. But what happens if you have a complaint?
Well, tonight, 11 News investigates why some families are concerned about their process. Investigative reporter Barry Sims explains.
Married 26 years, Mary Herring says her husband Mark was smart, caring, and lots of fun. The retired NASA engineer died at age 80. Since then, his wife has been on a mission, describing her concerns about his stay at a Maryland nursing home, reporting that facility to state officials. That nursing home was Autumn Lake Healthcare at Spa Creek in Annapolis.
When he got there, he wasn't thrilled, but he was positive, cooperative.
Mark had a brain tumor. Herring says he was doing extremely well with treatment. He went to the nursing home for rehabilitation after a fall. An estimated 2-week stay turned into 7 weeks.
He was completely stripped of his dignity and self-confidence in that period of time.
According to the state record of Herring's complaint, she reported staff failed to get Mark out of bed for 10 days, causing him to become extremely weak. He was not receiving his insulin as prescribed. He had a 14-pound weight loss within 3 weeks, and his doctor recommended double portions of food, which she says were not given.
There was hardly any food on the tray.
She says Mark began sending text messages.
I'm hungry. Please bring yogurt.
She says she talked to a nursing supervisor twice about her concerns.
Mark was not a wimpy whiny. I did that for us. He was not at all.
Attempts to transfer him to another facility failed.
I was on the phone to other rehab facilities trying to track something down.
Trying to move him?
Trying to move him.
She could not find a place with available space. Eventually, Mark ended up in hospice care at another facility. In July of 2022, 2 weeks after his death, Herring called the State Office of Healthcare Quality and submitted an official complaint. Concerned about the care of other residents, she expected an immediate investigation, but the state didn't start looking into her complaint until 6 months later, lumping it in with 21 other complaints during a yearly facility survey required by federal law. The survey included a review of medical records and interviews with 91 residents. It found more than 24 deficiencies at Autumn Lake Spa Creek, including failing to protect a resident from verbal abuse, failing to administer medication according to a physician's order, and failing to monitor a resident's weight who was identified as being at risk for weight loss. But regarding Mark's care specifically, state officials said they were not able to find that a specific regulation was not being met. That really upset Herring.
They didn't see any of my complaints in their inspection. Well, of course they didn't. It was 7 months later when I first sent the complaint in.
11 News Investigates contacted Autumn Lake at Spa Creek. In an email, a facility administrator writes, the facility cannot disclose information regarding specific residents, but also writes, patient safety is paramount. Staff members undergo annual abuse training to maintain a safe environment for our residents. As for that annual survey and all of those deficiencies, Autumn Lake submitted a plan to correct them, but notes it does not constitute an admission or agreement as to the truth of the findings. The state declined our request for an on-camera interview. It does tell us each part of Herring's complaint was investigated in adherence with the federal investigative process. The state also says that complaints are assessed and prioritized and may be investigated within 3 business days or not until the next annual survey. As for Herring, she has this advice for choosing a facility.
To do so with open eyes, to be with their person as much as humanly possible, to know what could happen, and to also know that this could happen any other place as well.
She says she will continue to speak out for more accountability and better protection for vulnerable seniors. For 11 News Investigates, I'm Barry Sims.
And Barry tells us another family who did not want to go on camera is also concerned about a complaint that they filed and the state's response. It was about a different healthcare facility, and they received the same response Mary Herring received. It came 4 months after they filed their complaint.